A lot of people think that big corporations are buying up houses and causing these record high prices in real estate. In some instances, that's true, but in most instances, it's not true. In most instances, these are regular working class people buying homes because of low interest rates, which lower the payment, even though the price of the home is higher, and working class people buying a second home and using it as an Airbnb rent investment. They rent it out for an investment. So that's what record low interest rates does. It not just boosts up asset prices, it also incentivizes people to borrow more and to purchase another home and to possibly rent it out through Airbnb. And this creates a little bit of a bubble. And this is what low interest rates does. It gives people an incentive to borrow money, which spurs economic activity. The reason interest rates were low was to spur economic activity to prevent us from going into a recession or to get out of a recession. And so that is actually working as designed. The key to everything in life is balance. If you go too far one way and you have too much activity, that's what's called a bubble. That's what's called an asset bubble and a monopoly in some instances. But again, not corporations, just regular people stretching themselves as much as they can because they can borrow a lot of money at a low interest rate. In addition to that, there are a lot of towns, there are a lot of homeowners associations that haven't adopted bylaws to restrict some of this Airbnb. Like there are already some restrictions in place by certain homeowners associations and municipalities that you cannot rent by the night or even by the week. That has to be on a monthly basis or a multiple month basis so that, communities don't turn into resorts, so that hotels are not eliminated. But mainly it's like, a lot of these communities are becoming more like not necessarily a resort, but like a vacation spot, and it's losing the community feel because people who go there a lot of times are not invested in the community. They don't own property or they're not renting long term, so they don't have much attached to them within that community, and that can spur this renter mentality or this I'm not committed to this. It's like renting a car, like you're going to run it into the ground, right? You abuse it a little bit because, it's not yours. So I would just say that for the big majority of people buying houses, it's the regular working class. There are and there were corporations that are doing it, but by the masses, it's regular people. And communities are adapting and passing bylaws to try to restrict that. Interest rates are projected to rise finally this year to lessen the amount borrowed and lessen activity, which will bring down inflation and bring down or stabilize prices. That's the general economic thesis. So is Airbnb a good thing or a bad thing? It's like everything in life. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Look, I like the ability to be able to do what you want, what you own. I like the ability to rent by the day if you want. But it's like everything. If there's no restriction, then your regular community, if your neighbor just starts renting out their house by the day, the community can go negative depending on the situation. And house prices can become unaffordable if a lot of people who are buying houses are buying their second, third, and fourth property. They're all investment properties. They're not communities. And so while we all like, including me, as much freedom as possible, not too much bureaucracy, there's some need for some level of bureaucracy and regulation because Airbnb could be a bad thing where it destroys communities. It inflates house prices because people are not buying these houses as their primary house. They're buying it as an investment. And there's a totally different mindset, a totally different way to manage a property when it's an investment, not your home. And that has affected the economy. And that's part of the technology error that Airbnb and these other like kind of startup technology companies have changed the landscape of renting, of real estate, etc. So not in a dramatic way. I mean, renting has always been there, but in a way where it's shifted things. So either way, I hope this video helped. If it did, click that thumbs up. You want to support the channel, click that blue join button. Check out my playlist, which has thousands of free videos. Leave a comment below, share the video. See you next one.